Karen Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show here on KCAA AM 1050. We are so excited to have our next guest join us, and I'm going to have Tobin introduce her.
Yeah, so again, this is going to be Marty Guerrero. She's from San Bernardino, and she has written a wonderful book called Exposed, Auto Repair's Dirty Little Secrets to Rip You Off. And we're really looking forward to talking to Marty. So, Marty, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome to the show.
Everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So normally we've had lots of authors on here, but we don't have authors that are local. And so I'm really intrigued. I want to know a little bit about you and growing up here in San Bernardino. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the schools you went to. And did you go to Valley College?
I did for a short while.
It is her.
We have Mark Westwood in the studio with us. He's running our board today, and he says hello. He went to high school. I went to college with you.
Hi, Mark.
Hi,
yes,
Marty.
I remember Mark. It is a small world.
It is.
So
good to
great
hear you.
reconnecting.
Yeah. So what elementary school and what high schools you grew up here?
I grew up there in the IE in San Bernardino. I went to Burbank Elementary School on Mill Street, and then I went for a short while at Richardson Prep High. Then I did Highland Junior High School, and I graduated from San Gregonio High School.
Wow.
Marty was so much fun in college, I got to tell you. I so enjoyed going to college with Marty.
Wasn't it fun, Mark?
It
we
was.
had a blast. We took the class, the television production class, and I have to say the program that they have at SBVC is excellent. Just excellent.
And Marty, you ended up working in TV, correct?
I did. Well, I got my journalism degree at San Diego State University, and I couldn't find a job for the life of me out of college. So after I got my bachelor's degree, I couldn't find a job. I enrolled at SBVC during I think it was the spring, just to stay involved in the production aspect. And that was great. And look, I got to meet Mark.
That's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but hey.
Well, let's talk about your book, because I tell you, I was really excited about this because I think everyone can relate to the experience that you describe in your book, and everyone's had that experience where you feel like you've been ripped off. So, what inspired you to write the book?
Well, I caught a mechanic cheating me. I caught him cheating me, and then I took my case to state investigators, and I won. And
Wow.
Well, I found out he was trying to charge me more than $1,000 for services, and all my car needed was a battery.
Wow. So you're already one big step ahead of me. I didn't even know that you could take it to some sort of state agency to have them investigated or anything like that. So that's just huge there.
Yes, it's called the BAR, the Bureau of Automotive Repair.
Wow. So how did you catch him cheating you? How'd you figure it out?
Well, after he said he fixed my car, 2 days after I picked it up, it wouldn't start. And I took it in initially because it wouldn't turn on the first try. And back then, I didn't know a thing about cars. So I took it in. I told him my car won't start on the first try. And he asked me to leave it. So I left the car. And he called back, and he gave me this laundry list of things that was wrong with it. And so I went ahead, and I gave him the go-ahead to go ahead and do some of the repairs. And 2 days later, it wouldn't start. I had to call AAA, and then I took my car to another mechanic who was closer to my home, and he's the person who said, all your car needed is a battery.
Wow.
And that's how I caught him.
Wow. What a shock that must have been, right? I mean, you must have been so angry.
Oh, yes. I felt like a fool.
Wow.
I was really upset. And even after that, when I contacted other mechanic, I had two mechanics verify that some of the work that the first mechanic charged me for was never done.
So he charged you and didn't do the work at all?
Yes, he charged me almost $100 for a brake fluid flush. And turns out that the brake fluid was filthy. And the honest mechanic that I spoke with, he told me, he said, Marty, I have a truck that has more than 100,000 miles on it, and I've never given it a brake fluid flush. So you don't even really need it. They're not really necessary.
Wow. So you got ripped off. You caught the guy. You took him and got that took him to this court or this group to get him taken care of, and then you decided to write the book. So tell us about the process. What went into creating this book?
Well, the book itself was 5 years in the making because I didn't know I was going to write a book. What happened was after all this happened happened to me, the first mechanic, he offered to give me a car clinic on my car. He said, well, bring the car in and I'll explain to you what's wrong with it. And I didn't trust him. I said, why should I bring my car into you and have you explain the car, what's wrong with it to me? I don't trust you. I know that you cheated me. So it so happened that I got a brochure in the mail for a vocational school. It's here in the Los Angeles area, the North Valley Occupational Center. And I was thumbing through it, and they had auto repair classes. So I thought, wow, this is a great opportunity. I just kind of signed up for it on a whim, and that's when I learned, I met my teachers. I had 2 different teachers, and I met other mechanics in the class and students. And so I started interviewing them. I interviewed my teachers. I interviewed other mechanics. I interviewed shop owners. And that's how the book came to me.
Wow. So when are you opening your own auto mechanic shop?
I would love to. I would really love to.
That's awesome. You actually went and took the classes. See, I've never been good with cars or anything like that. In fact, my wife can tell you a whole bunch of home repair stories and how I break things that I try to fix. But I think that's amazing. That's awesome.
Right. I don't think people should be intimidated by their cars. They're a wonderful piece of machinery, but when you understand how they work, the mechanics of the car, it's not something that you should be intimidated by. Everyone can understand it. And I write about that in the book. So my book isn't just about tips on how to spot people when they're trying to cheat you, but the second part of the book, has just practical things about your car. It explains why you need to check your car, your tire tread, and explains, I have something in there called Know Your Dash and Save Some Cash. Because a lot of people don't understand their dashboard, they don't understand where their hazard lights are, and I think that it's very important that you know how your car works.
I remember once when I was, Tobin and I were first married. I guess we've been married about 5 years. I took my car, which was a little tiny, it was a Daihatsu Charade, little tiny car, into a place just to get an oil change. And they came out and they, at the end, I waited, because it's supposed to be 20 minutes or whatever. They came out and they brought this filthy air filter, and it was huge. And I'm like, yeah, that air filter is filthy, but it's not mine.
You caught them. See, you caught them. Wow, and that's something I write about in the book. It's called the dirty air filter trick. And what they do is they will have a prop. They keep prop air filters there, and they'll bring it out, and they'll say, this is how filthy your air filter is. We recommend that you change it. And what they'll do is it's not even from your car, and they'll charge you maybe $30 for a new air filter and not even change it. So that is one of the tricks that I write about in the book, Exposed.
It just makes me so angry. They see a woman and they think, oh, she's going to be stupid. She's not going to know.
Yes, but not anymore, because if we are exposing some of the tricks, and I do want to say that not all mechanics are dishonest, because I met so many good people. That's how I got the book written, because I met a lot of honest shop owners and honest mechanics who say, yes, this happens in the industry, but not all of us do this, and we're all getting the bum rap because it's the bad people that are making the industry look bad.
Well, we have to take a quick break. Will you stay over with us while we take a break, pay some bills?
I would love to.
Awesome.
I would love to.
So we are talking with Marty Guerrero. She has written a wonderful book, Exposed, Auto Repair's Dirty Little Secrets to Rip You Off. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we'll continue this conversation after the break here on KCAA AM 1050.
Though some have changed, some forever, not for better.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are back here on KCAA AM 1050. We are continuing our conversation with Marty Guerrero, the author of Exposed, Auto Repair's Dirty Little Secrets to Rip You Off. So, Marty, welcome back.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about upselling, because anybody who's got a mailbox gets these little ads in the mail that say, get your oil changed for $10, and you go in and you end up spending a fortune.
Oh, that is a classic technique, the upselling. What they do, like you said, they will lure you in with cheap prices. They'll advertise the cheap oil change, or they'll advertise a $99 brake job. And what they're doing is they're just trying to get you into the shop. And once you're there, that's when they're going to come up with a laundry list of other things that they say is wrong with your vehicle. And the service advisors are told to do this. So they are told you need to sell the other services. If they don't do it, some of them they risk losing their job.
So I have a question for you. I often take my car to the dealer as opposed to just some random mechanic. And I used to feel like I was getting a safer deal or whatever there. Is your experience been that you can get ripped off anywhere, or are you safer at certain types of places versus others?
Well, just in my own opinion, I think it's better to go to an independent shop, because at the dealership, they have service advisors. When you bring your vehicle in to a dealership, you speak with the service advisor. Now, the service advisor is not a mechanic. The service advisor is a salesperson. They are salesmen, they are saleswomen, and their main job is to sell you services. So, and they work off of commission. So the more things they sell you or they get you to agree to, the more money the dealership makes and the more money the salespeople or service advisors make.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. That's good.
And you'll see they'll say, well, this is our recommendation. So that's what they'll do, is they get away with it by calling them recommendations. We recommend that you get a brake fluid flush. We recommend that at this amount of mileage you get a radiator flush. And I always tell people to watch it with those flushes, because the flushes, the only thing they're doing are flushing money from your wallet.
Watch the flushes.
So Erin's glaring at me because I've been going to the dealer for a long time now. She's like, I
go to the dealer too, though. I have a hybrid, so I take my hybrid to a dealer.
Yeah, so sometimes it is necessary, and especially now with the newer vehicles, because they're all increasingly electronic, so you will have to take it to the dealership. Just be aware of the things that they're trying to sell you. Make sure that you're just going in to get the thing done that you took it in for. If you need to get an oil change at the dealership, just have them do that.
So how do people know if they've got an honest mechanic?
Well, that's why I wrote the book. I want them to see some of the tactics that I've written about, and then they'll know if their mechanic has been using some of these tactics, then you know you've been played.
Okay. So what's like the best part of the book in terms of like the best horror story you've come across, the most interesting thing that someone's dealt with? What's the best?
Wow. Well, the one I always like to tell people, earlier I talked about know your dash and save some cash. I had a woman who I met at a woman's business meeting, and she was telling me this horror story about how she didn't have dashboard lights. So at night, she drove around for a couple of years without lights on her dashboard because she took it into a dealership, and the dealership told her it was going to cost $1,500 to fix the dashboard lights. Well,
oh my gosh.
Yes, she did not have the money, so she said, oh, don't do it. It's okay, I can drive around without it. Then she started dating this guy. And the first time he got in her car in the evening, she was embarrassed. She said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have lights. And he said, well, let me take a look. So he goes over and sits in the driver's seat, and he determined all it was a knob. She was not turning the knob all the way. Now, a lot of cars, the dashboard lights illuminate automatically. Well, her car didn't. And they were going to charge her $1,500 to fix the knob.
Did she report them?
She did not. Well, most people don't know about the Bureau of Automotive Repair.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I had no idea either, actually.
Yeah. It's a state agency, rather, and you can find it. Just go on the internet and look up the State Bar or the Bureau of Automotive Repair.
Wow.
So, I definitely have to get this book. Is there an Angie's List kind of site for mechanics where people can say I had a great experience, Joe is terrific, don't see this guy? I mean, is there any kind of service like that besides maybe Yelp?
Not that I know of. I only know of Yelp. But in the book, I do say to be aware of the reviews, because the mechanic that I went to, he had great reviews. And he also had this logo. He was a female-friendly logo, and that's why I went to him. And it turns out that he wasn't female-friendly. I accused him when I spoke with him. I told him, I said, you are using this female-friendly logo to lure women in, and like a predator, you're taking advantage of us. And he got really angry because he said, oh, come on. I said, well, that's how I feel.
No, it sounds like you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happened to him? You said that you won. What did that mean for him?
Well, all it meant was that he had to give me my money back. He not only gave me my money back, but he gave me extra money as well. But he's still in business.
Yeah.
Still in business. And I had told him, I said, my goal is not to put you out of business, because he's a business owner and he employs mechanics, and I don't want to see people out of a job. But I just wanted my money back. And that's why I took him to the bar. But
hopefully he changed his business practices too. I mean, hopefully this is a wake-up call.
Yes. Well, one of the things that he tried to do, and this is another tactic, was to charge me $600 for struts. And I didn't know what struts were at the time, but I since learned that what they will do is put oil on the struts and make it appear as if they're leaking. And then they'll tell you need new struts.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's what happened to me. I still have my same car. This is a 5-year process. I'm telling you, the book was in the making for 5 years. It just happened to me 5 years ago. I still have the same car, have not had to replace the struts. So I always tell women when I speak to women's groups that if your car ain't working, your struts are working. Struts mean when you're bouncing. If your car bounces a lot, then you do need new struts.
Wow. If your car ain't working.
Now I'm picturing a twerking car. I don't know.
I think I see a viral video in our future.
I know. So, do you have a website?
I do. It's MartyGuerrero.com. I do.
That's easy.
Yes.
That's easy. So, is this a first of many books, or are you going to be writing more books about auto repair or anything else?
You know, I'm glad you asked. I've had people tell me or ask me to write books about cars in general, on how a car works. It's something that is easy to understand. I am a TV news writer, so I write very simply. I don't make things. There's not a lot of gobbledygook in my book. It's just straight to the point, and it's written quickly, and you can get through it very fast. So people have asked me to write something about. I had a coworker who said, "I don't know a carburetor from a transmission," and I started laughing, and I said, "You know what?" I said, "Your car does not have a carburetor."
No, it has a catalytic converter, right?
Well, it has fuel injection. So he had no idea that carburetors were phased out a long time ago because of emissions and stuff. So, yes.
Well, he doesn't know what he doesn't know, like the rest of us.
And like me, 5 years ago, I didn't know. And this mechanic took me for a ride, and I'm trying to prevent it from happening to other people.
Good for you. I hope you do write that other book too. I'd buy that one too.
In a heartbeat.
Well, thank you.
If you make it big with tabs on it, so I can search for what I need. Oh, this is what the mechanic said. Let me see what Marty says.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No wonder I couldn't find the carburetor the other day on my car. That's it. Okay.
Well, I'm about to take my car in for service because it's time. If you buy a Prius, a little light will come on and says you need an oil change.
Well, I didn't want to say anything, but I drove in after right behind Mark this morning, and his car was twerking as it came in. So
I had Bruno Mars on. That might have been.
I think that was it, because I remember you, Mart. You love the music. You love to dance.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Marty, it has been an absolute treat having you on the air today. Thank you, and thank you for writing this book, because I know that when I've gone to the mechanic, I know when your gut tells you when something's not right. But if you don't know why it's not right, you don't know if it's is it just me? It's good to have something out there that you can refer to.
And I have to say a special big thank you to Marty, because I think our listenership just went through the roof today, because I know the Guerrero family, they're all listening. That must have added like hundreds of people. So, And your brother Art's got so many friends. I imagine he got like another 1,000 listening. So.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
Thank you so much. I wanted to say that you guys have such great chemistry on the air. When I'm listening to your show, and I just say, wow, their chemistry is great. It's like I can just listen for hours.
Well, I hope so.
That's great.
I hope
maybe
so.
we need a longer show, Mark.
Two of them are married.
we need another hour, Mark. Add another hour.
Oh, well, you never know. Look what you stirred up there, Marty.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much, and you're always welcome back on the air. I mean, if you have more stories to tell, or you're about another book or about something else, you are always welcome.
If you just want to tell stories about Art, I just want to get some dirt on Art.
I have a lot of stories about him.
Because I love to troll your brother on the internet. He and I we troll each other. We have a lot of fun with that. I say troll. We tease each other. We're good friends. So.
Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I had a great time.
We had a great time, too. Thank you so much. So we are almost out of time. I think we have about a minute or two left. I'm actually, I get nervous. I mean, we spend a lot of money on auto repair. And,
yeah, we do.
And I'm about to take it in again for another service. And, you want to be able to do all the repairs that your car needs, but you don't want to get ripped off, and so I'm definitely getting this book.
Yeah, I agree, and we're both getting close to the end of the lifetime of our car, and so you start weighing how much you have to spend in repairs versus whether you're going to get a new car. But if you find out after the fact that you were spending so much on repairs, not because your car needed it, but because some guy was ripping you off, that's going to make you so angry.
Indeed.
Hey, I just want Aaron's, check engine light that goes, meh, time to check the phone. For the car.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, mine does tell service required. It just, it's time for your oil change. So this has been a fun show.
Yes, it
Thank you for joining us this Thursday. And thank you, Mark, for sitting in for Joe this morning.
What did I do giving up this job? This is fun.
This is fun. We have a good time. So I'm Erin Brinker.
I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we, again, have Mark Westwood in the booth today. Have a wonderful Thursday, everybody. This is KCAA AM 1050. Police and the fireman, I'm too hard. Like a dragon.